morning. I'm Clara Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. I'm a little sleepy this morning because it's raining. You might be able to see out there. Well, you can't really tell. But yeah, it's raining. What a difference it makes when it rains. First I'll sleep in about 10 minutes more than usual. I usually wake up just before 6 when the sun comes up. But this time, no, slept in a little bit, and I like rainy days because they're lazy, and I wanted a lazy day anyway. I've got like video editing to do, but that's it. And I might get a massage. If it stops raining, I'll go out. But it's just perfect. Those rainy days when you can just stay in and watch movies and all that. Perfect for today. So chicken's in. How's the camera going? It doesn't look good to me. Hey Donna. Oh, it looks okay now. So let's get some cards out. The daily was all about balancing masculine and feminine. Things coming up for us, either internally, that masculine and feminine balance inside of us, which might also be a giving and receiving balance as well. The feminine being the yin, the masculine being the yang. Oh, there's a time on outside. So it could be our internal stuff, balancing the masculine and feminine, like an internal battle that goes on. It could also be external as well, so the less aware of yourself you are, things like show up to show you in your external world, right? So it could be, hey Leslie, it could be like people battling each other, the masculine and feminine in us battling each other, you know? We've all been in relationships where that happens, right? It's not the man versus the woman, it's the masculine inside of us. So it could be the masculine inside of the woman battling with the masculine inside of the man, or the feminine inside of the man. Oh, we've got treasured memories. Wow. How are you, Leslie? And how are you, Donna? Treasured memories. I love the artwork on these cards. It's so interesting. To me, this treasured memories, it reminds me of my childhood when we'd go like simple days out in nature, and it'd be a lot of fun. That's what it reminds me of. Treasured memories, memories, nostalgia, recognition. We see a woman sitting calmly in the grass. She looks forward to somewhere we don't know, while her mind is drifting in the past. With both hands, she's holding a floating balloon filled with clouds. These clouds are old memories she wants to keep and treasure. Our past experiences don't define us. We can't live the life we had long ago, but the past does shape us, and remembrances of loved ones and joyful times can help us be our best selves today. Hey Chris, how are you? That's interesting. I didn't expect an energy like that to come up today. But you know what else we had in the daily? I shot all the dailies yesterday and the energy updates for each sign. It was about expressing love. There was very, very much love in the air, so it could be nostalgic love coming up today as well. I'm getting from that. Someone from the past coming in. Maybe an old friend or something like that. Extended family member. Could be something like that. So I'm in sleepy rainy day mode. I love it when the weather matches how I'm feeling. I love it when it's rainy days, when I'm feeling like staying in, relaxing and stuff like that. It's just perfect. Let's get some tarot out for today. Wow, the energy updates for each star sign. I've not edited them yet, but I will edit them today and I'll publish them tonight. But wow, some of them are amazing. Like amazing. Some of them are like readings I've never done before. Like the perfect reading, you know. Aries and Taurus in particular. Just incredible. But a lot of them, there's massive love stuff going on this week. Hey Eva, hello Amy. Welcome everybody. Let's get a car out. Yeah, so I shot 19 videos yesterday. I was working from 8 until about, I think it was about 5:30 when I stopped shooting the videos. Hey Corey. It was a long day, talking constantly. But last night I just edited the dailies so they're all set up now. Wow, we've got Death and Rebirth. This came out so much as well in the energy updates. Massive transitions. And I had no idea I had so many new beginnings cards, but they all came out. So Death and Rebirth today. We are closing chapters at the moment. Closing chapters to open up new chapters. This Death card, I really like it. See the infinity symbol in between. Just because, you know, I'm big into letting go. If any of you have read my book, Having It All, it's all about letting go, really. I could have called it A Guide to Letting Go, because that's what I was trying to get across in that book, is how things have happened. Let go, constantly let go. It's a bit of a biography of a snapshot of my life, that one. But it's about law of attraction. If you haven't read it, it's available on Kindle and Amazon. Just a short book. But yeah, all about letting go, and that's what this is to me, death and rebirth. So I wonder why this has got to do with, what this has got to do with balancing the masculine and feminine. Hello, Rose. It's the number 13 as well, unlucky for some. We've got massive endings, new beginnings. Today. Okay, more cards. What haven't I used for a while? I'll get one of these. The half price sale this weekend is going to be my next steps readings, your next steps readings, your next steps readings. Who sent me a message? I get a message and it stops the camera from working. I know who sent me a message. There we go. Should be back any moment now. There's a bit of a flaw with this software that allows me to use my phone as a camera. It stops working. If I get a message, if an order comes in, if someone fills in the contact us form on the website, camera just stops. The audio looks alright to me, the audio. The video doesn't look alright to me though. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting card. I've not seen this one before. Demystifying the darkness. Oh, I wonder if that's why the death card has come out. Maybe it's a bit darker than I'm feeling. Demystifying the darkness. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. Ah, okay. So when we have these battles today, masculine and feminine, it's not just about us recognizing that it's about balancing the masculine and feminine up. It's not about the cerebral stuff. It's about where we need to show ourselves more love. Hey, Robin. We need to show ourselves more love with what we deem as our dark side. We need to love it instead. It's easiest to liken it to small children, right? All of this stuff, all of the healing stuff, and especially the self-love stuff. If you think about small children, because we know how to love them, and especially, so there's this little scamp in my life right now. He's so cute. He's 3 years old, and it's called Songkran. And he's a little terror, but it's just delightful, you know? So how is it that we can love the dark side in 3-year-olds, but we can't within ourselves? It's like children get to a certain point and then we Treat them like adults, as in start judging the dark side and tell them that they shouldn't be like that, you know. Demystifying the darkness, but we don't do it for young kids. My shadow shows me where my love needs to be sent. We need to get back to that, treating ourselves like children. That's why it helps so much when you're doing the self-love thing, to imagine yourself as a little version of yourself living in your heart. Like, so a 3-year-old you living in your heart, and then look after that 3-year-old. Look after yourself like that, love yourself like that. So embracing our shadows. So it's not about like fixing the darkness. Not about fixing the darkness, but about loving it more, loving ourselves more completely. Quite a mixed bag today, cards. So that Death and Rebirth card, there is a bit more darkness in that than I was thinking. This past one as well, treasured memories. There might be some darkness that comes up in there too. So you might be looking at your past self, even your childhood self, and judging yourself as an adult in it. Shouldn't do that, right? Judge ourselves as an adult when we were children. Let's get some more cards out. I'm not surprised this card came out, really. It's Yang. It's the masculine. It's number 1. How about that? It's the number 1 card, masculine. Yin must be number 2. You're having an audio problem. It looks okay on mine. I mean, I've got like little, audio things that jump up and down. There's background noise. It's okay on mine. How about everyone else? Is the audio okay? So here we have the masculine energy of giving, there's a lag on the video, I see that too. I think it's like Wi-Fi speed or something. I don't know what it is. I don't really understand it. The video thing, and how there can be a lag between my phone and computer there. I just don't understand it. Yang energy, the masculine energy, giving our energy out. It's complicated, especially for women, because I don't know about you, but when I was at school, I had to be masculine. You had to be masculine. You've got to be masculine in the workplace. If you want anything, you've got to be masculine. You've got to be in your masculine, because the feminine wasn't valued at all. I think it's being valued more now. I think we're learning that now. Hey, Emma. I think we're learning to value the feminine more now, but it's still not valued that much. But we can do, right? So, masculine energies today. There's a bit of a battle going on with the masculine and feminine today. What else should we get out? I know this. So yeah, my half price sale this weekend is going to start in about 12 hours. I might start it earlier than that, but it may probably in about 12 hours. It's on my Your Next Steps readings, one of my most popular readings. Second to my guidance reading, the normal reading. Yeah. Goes into your next 5 steps of what the universe, what your higher self requires from you. The action steps. Internal steps, external steps, could be anything. But yeah, it goes into the next 5. You'll find that on behealing.com when it starts. Oh, I'm going to get another card out here. Hi, Crystal. Amy, probably the weather. Could be. It's slowing me down. It's slowing me down, the rain. It's great. Love it, because we get so little rain here. When it's a rainy day, it's a bit of a novelty. I was just so used to sunshine. My face is peeled off now. I'm peeling yesterday. from sunburn last weekend. I want to get another card out because this is the feminine card that's come out and it's really interesting. I want the masculine to come out. Give us the masculine. Okay. I'll take those two as the masculine. Got the heart on the bottom. There's a lot of love energy in this next week, or going on at the moment, like the energy updates that I do now are timeless, so it's just a snapshot of energy for whenever people come to it. But there's a lot of love, a lot of heart stuff going. Next Steps is your all-time favourite reading. It's really good, isn't it? I think it was Nikki that suggested it. Someone in here suggested it. And yeah, it is, and it's so useful, right? Yeah, I've done them for myself, and sometimes it's like 5 things you can do straight away, but often it's not. Often it's 5 things, and you can do that, maybe the first 3, and then you've got to wait for the 4 and stuff like that. They're cool readings. It's like a blueprint, something to keep, and then you work through the steps. So the feminine card that's come out is the Siren. The Siren about the part of the feminine that draws in the masculine, the attractive part of the feminine. And so, as I always say, everything can be expressed in a positive and negative way. So the positives of the feminine is loving and nurturing, caring, supporting. What else? And where love goes, it's this softness, the seduction kind of thing. It's the openness that is the attractiveness. So with the Siren here, it's all about almost the female sexuality, the being open. There's an egg. There's an egg right there here. So interesting because I asked for the masculine cards and look what came out. The seed. There's the seed and the egg together. So the masculine is the seed. The feminine is the egg. It's like back to basics. We're getting a back to basics lesson here. But there's meaning behind that. Also got the cave as well. It's often connected with the masculine, the cave, man caves, retreating into the cave. I'm going to get clarifiers out for all of this because I think they're trying to tell us something here, right? About the feminine, about the masculine. The woman can go into a cave as well. We've all got that within us. So how about this? I had to change my mug because the kids smashed my other one. They just chipped the top a little bit, so I'm using it as a utensils holder now. I knew it was going to happen. We're by the pool. I'd had a coffee. And then they wanted to go and get some water. And I'm like, that's the end of my mug. And sure enough, it was. The Siren. What's this all about? Let's get some clarity on that. What's this trying to tell us about the feminine? Okay. Yeah, the cave is important here. Let's put the cave in between the two. So both the feminine and the masculine want to run off to the cave when there's these masculine-feminine battles going on. The feminine got growth and staying safe, right? The staying safe card is when she runs off to the cave or closes down, doesn't want to receive anymore. Because it's scary to receive from the masculine. The growth is had in being open, but when she's fearing, she runs to the cave to stay safe. And we can all do that, right? I want to get more about the feminine here. This has something to do with us staying open-hearted. Remember, the heart card was on the bottom there. I think that's what it's about, is how to stay open-hearted when there's these masculine-feminine balance battles going on. And we are in shifting times now. I think we have been all my life. It was very masculine when I was a kid. So much so, I kind of defiantly went along with it at school because I wanted to beat the boys at their own game. I still kind of am doing that, right? With the Muay Thai. Love fighting the boys, it's the best. But, you know, I chose all the school subjects that were the boys' subjects because I recognised if you wanted to be recognised, if you wanted to do well, you had to be in your masculine. And I wanted to beat them at their own game. And it pissed me off no end that I wasn't allowed to do the boys' stuff. I had to do home economics and stuff like that. The girls, we could only take those classes like the home stuff. We couldn't do woodwork and metalwork, the fun stuff for me. So I think we've been in changing times for a long time with the masculine and feminine, because we're in a shifting age now, aren't we? We're coming out of one age to another age. From Pisces to Aquarius. And there is this shift in the masculine and feminine balance. And so we're going through it. We're in unknown territory. So the feminine wants to stay safe once you get scared, but the real growth is in being open. And this is refocus and go within. So when we hide away, when we want to shut down, when we're in fear, we don't want to receive from the masculine, we don't want to be open. When we do that retreat into the cave and go within, it's to refocus ourselves. It's to get back to ourselves. It's like the hermit, isn't it? Getting back to ourselves and our own energy. So this must be what's happening today with this feminine, because it's all about retreating away from the masculine. It's hard to stay open. I'm trying to be open as possible, and even as amazing as my man is, and he is, I still find myself shutting down, especially around community, because it's weird. I mean, Thais, they aren't people for being demonstrative in public at all. A lot of the people that I've got around us, that I've got around me, people I've known for a long time, the whole time we've been on this island, and then suddenly there's this new person there. Suddenly I'm in a relationship and everyone's like, Claire, huh? In a relationship? It's just weird. So that is making me shut down a little bit. Not so much the relationship, but still getting to know each other. So. But there's all kinds of reasons that we want to shut down and stop receiving. Eva, I tackled my fear and spoke up, telling my love interest how I feel about him. Awesome. Yeah, because that was in the daily too. We need to express our love. Yes. We need to express our love, not hold back. And he pulled back. There you go, the fear kicking in. Back to the cave. Thought we're on the same page. You probably are, Eva. But he ran back to the cave. So we'll get into the masculine soon. I remind myself to stay positive and don't look too much into the why. Yeah, because it's about him, right? And you know, same. Someone approaches us and we run back to our cave too. It's not about them. It's not about how we're feeling about them. It's about our own fear. And we run back to the cave, right? But we run back to the cave to refocus ourselves. It comes up in readings so much, that kind of thing, Eva. When people ask about that, how someone feels about them because they did this. And it's like, no, they were just in fear. It was nothing to do with you at all. It's not about how they feel about you. Yeah, but we've got to try and let love rule, right? And openness. So let's go to the masculine now, the seed. The egg and the seed. What's going on with the masculine today? Oh, right. Intimacy and follow my knowing. The masculine is now being challenged to open up into the feminine a bit more. That'll be when the fear kicks in. So they are getting more into their intuition and intimacy. Yeah. So the masculine has been they've kind of been allowed to, because it's been the norm to be quite closed and cold, really, and not in the feminine, right? Well, they've done the same as us. They were taught the same as us, to be in that masculine. So they're having to open up in their intuition and into intimacy as well. They're having to bring the feminine into it. And it's challenging for a lot to do that. But they've got to do it. Because we won't accept anything else now, right? The seed. And right now, I'm not talking about men and women, by the way. Corey, if you're still here. Because Corey, you're quite in your feminine already. This is just about the masculine and feminine. And same, I'm not just talking about the men here with this bit, I'm talking about the women too. This is the masculine side of us and what's going on. Trusting our intuition more, opening up into intimacy more. We've all got that going on, right? That challenge going on. Wow, overwhelming feelings, doubt. That's where the masculine is at, the masculine within us all the time. There's all of this doubt. Overwhelming feelings. Intuition, but. You know? Intuition, but. And we know something's right, but we're still closed down because of fear. Feminine wants to stay safe, wants to hide away and stay safe, wants to grow, but would prefer to grow by herself. So why did the cave come out? Go deeper and love us. This must be why in the energy updates there was so much love in there, like, so that it was pretty much, I thought about doing them as just love readings, and then I thought, no, because I want it to be balanced. I want whatever energies are there to come out in my readings, not for me to limit it. But so many of them were pretty much pure love readings. I tried to do it like half general, half love. But a lot of the general parts were about love. So there's this big drive at the moment to redefine relationships is what I'm getting, to go deeper into that. Lovers, go deeper in lovers, in these cards. But we're all running back to the cave instead of remaining open. Maybe we just need to do that while we're redefining it. Get on in there in the relationships and then run off for a while to refocus on ourselves and yeah. Right, there's also this too. Get what I want in service. Personal card out today was unraveling codependency. This is part and parcel of it. There's been so much codependency going on, and I think it's a product of the masculine and feminine being out of balance in society. Because when you look at codependency, it's very much entrenched in that feminine being taught to give, which is the masculine. The feminine is taught to give, be unending source of giving, but that's masculine. The masculine has been taught to receive, which is feminine, is the yin. And that has led to codependency, a lot of codependency. I mean, like, you don't hear of codependency in Shakespeare, do you? It's like that stuff wasn't around then. There wasn't a codependency, but there is now. Now we're getting to this shit. So this service card to me, when it comes to relationships, is about that. It's like getting that balance right of giving and receiving. And it feels like codependency can be sorted through now, like sifted through. I wonder what it says on the back of that card. Unraveling codependency. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Right? So that's another thing of the feminine, the codependent feminine, kind of negative expression of the feminine, where codependency is concerned, is about putting everyone else first. Putting the kids first, putting the husband first, when we're talking about a woman, I mean, just putting everyone else first, never thinking of themselves. And then when you switch that around to self-love, start putting yourself first, it feels so selfish, it feels out of balance even though it isn't. That's why, I tried to get into a conversation with Deepak Chopra about this. because a lot of his teachings, I don't know whether it's still the same now, but maybe 15 years ago, a lot of his teachings were very much pointed toward the masculine, even though he was teaching predominantly women. And so he would be saying things like, about abundance teachings, you just need to give more, you just need to give more. So I tried to get into this dialogue with him about that, because it's like, well, that's not true. I know that that's not true from my readings, because sometimes a reading, and like an abundance reading for someone would be to tell them to give more. But that generally is people that are in that masculine and in that the negative expression of the masculine, that advice works. Now put someone in the negative expression of the feminine, the overgiver, the doormat kind of thing, the codependent one, that doesn't work. If they give more, it gets them even more out of balance. And so there I see his audience being predominantly female, probably in the negative expression of the feminine, and he's telling them to give more. And I'm like, don't you see that it just depends how someone's out of balance. And right now, the majority were out of balance in that negative masculine way. But now the majority seems to be, or the majority of people that I have access to, maybe it's just that, the majority of people I have access to are out of balance in the feminine way. Lisa, I appreciate the masculine and feminine description, because I never knew what energies went with that. Yeah, and we are learning, that's the thing, we're all trying to figure it out. It's another thing that my guides have told me too, when I ask them, like, why don't we have her story? Why do we just have history? Why don't we have her story? So it's a little bit easier to piece it together. And what they told me was, you don't want her story because you want to create it anew. We're about evolution. We're not about going backward. There isn't a time where it's been perfect before. We're better without the information of the feminine before. So we can recreate a better version of the feminine now. That's why. So that's like the deeper meaning behind the reason that her story was lost. We only have the masculine records of history. We don't have the feminine. Have you ever noticed that? That's why it's called history. His story. It's bizarre. And another thing as well about the energies at the moment is there's something really important about what's going on at the moment with the masculine and feminine and with the heart. And I know that because I just got the full body tingles when I was saying that. And that happens, and it happened in the energy updates, and some of the energy updates as well. What I was saying in the energy updates this week is really important. Whenever I'm doing a reading, I get like fizzy, it's like champagne fizzing up my body. It's Kundalini energy. If I'm saying something in a reading to someone, or if I'm just saying something to someone that's important, if my reading is like spot on and really important, I get that energy. Call it the full body tingles. I was getting that yesterday. Christine, I see that as being, giving more to self first in that case. Yeah, give more. Right, but you can see Christine say, right, so if Trump were to come for a reading with me, wouldn't that be funny? Imagine, his reading isn't going to be the same as yours, Christine. Imagine if I told him, oh, you just need to put yourself first. No, it depends. It depends where someone is. It depends on how they're out of balance. So this is why it's a personal thing. This is why it's a personal thing. We've always got to find our own balance, because all of us were different. We've got that different mix just depending on what we've learned and the experiences that we've had in life. What's going on? Something is going on. Hang on. Alarm is calling me, but I can't answer. Wait. Oh no, he probably... Wait. The camera stopped working because I'm getting a call. I need to put it on airplane mode when I'm doing these. back. I think I'm back. Hi, Tanya. Yeah, I'm going to draw cards for everybody now. Because I want to get in. This is why I do private readings, right? Because it's individual to everyone. I mean, it's fun doing the videos and the general reads and everything, but we've all got our unique energies. And general reads just don't cut it, right? Because messages for one could put someone even more out of balance. Anyway, I tried to get in a dialogue with Deepak Chopra about that because we're friends on Facebook. We've got very similar paths. He was into neurotherapy too. Yeah. So, but, of course, busy man. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's find out where we're all at with this masculine, feminine balance. I hope he doesn't want me to look after the kids. They're going to school. Anyway, he's probably just calling for a chat. Tanya, can you draw a few cards for me? I just set boundaries, let go of him, and said if you can get his shit together, then maybe we can see each other. So you went back to your cave. Yeah, Tanya. Okay, Tanya's first. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it about the masculine and feminine balance. Let's find out what's going on here for everybody. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Remember way back, who's here? Oh, Donna, you'll remember. When I was doing the Lemurian stuff, the Lemurian balancings, they were about this, weren't they? Balancing that masculine and feminine out. That was more of an energy healing, but it was about that. Yeah, so the current, you see, the software just stops working when anything else happens on my phone. It just stops working. Yeah, Tanya, move away in understanding. Tanya, this is about you and your choices. It's good for you to set boundaries, yeah? But also, I don't know what star sign you are, but you want to watch your energy update that I'm going to publish in about 12 hours, because this came up a lot as well, is not trying to get into a relationship with the wrong person and then change them to be the right person. You've got to watch out for that. There's something to understand in this situation for you, Tanya. That can be a negative expression of the feminine, right? And it's a kind of a masculine part of the feminine, when the feminine gets into that yang energy. To get together with someone that's not a match, not right for them, and then change them into being that. So there's something to really understand about your dynamic and who you chose there and what's going on. So the reason I mentioned the energy updates is it came up for a few signs about this love thing, that they're actually bringing in someone now that has got the shit together. They've got the shit together. They've done the work. It's the swan. The swan came up over and over again. The swan, someone who's gone through that transformation. They aren't the ugly duckling anymore. And so if you're a swan, if you're doing the inner work and you're sorting your shit out, why are you going out with ugly ducklings? Why do you choose ugly ducklings and then try and entice them to be a swan? Now, you need to look for swans. So watch your energy update, because it might be in there as well for your star sign. And probably moon sign and Venus sign might be very important this week to watch. So yeah, you're moving away from some kind of behaviour, and to me it feels like, Tanya, it feels like you're choosing ugly ducklings instead of swans. If you want someone that's got the shit together, choose someone that's got the shit together, someone that's done the work on themselves. They are out there, they do exist. Corey's next. Yes, I don't know, as I was saying before, Corey, you're kind of in your feminine. You're kind of in the negative expression of the feminine as well. See how all messed up we are? Listen to your sabotages. You're getting enough evidence of it, right? Unraveling codependency. You're getting a lot of evidence of it. I'm hearing like our higher selves have already been on this for all of us, showing us our feminine, showing us our masculine, showing us what's going on within us. And to really understand it and to really listen to it. So you're coming out in the negative expression of the feminine. That's something to unravel within you, Corey. It's funny. I've noticed that in men. Men will be like in the negative masculine, then they'll have some kind of a spiritual awakening, then they'll go in the negative expression of the feminine. It's weird. Because that's what we've seen, right? There's been the negative expression of both out there, and so... Right, ladyboys. Case in point, ladyboys. They're so funny. Because the ladyboys, they do that. They transition. And then they go to like the negative side of the Queen of Swords is what ladyboys do. They're funny as. I mean, they become the complete bitches, and it's so, so funny. But that's what they do, and then they accentuate the negative feminine. A lot of them anyway. So you're kind of being like a ladyboy, but you're not. You're doing another part of the negative feminine at the moment. And so you are being shown already, Corey, what those sabotages are. To change that, or to investigate it, you know. Nobody has it easy at the moment because we're all redefining it. We don't know what the hell we're doing with this masculine and feminine. It's all changing, so we're all having to make it up, figure it out. That's what the Lemurian balancing was all about. Trying to figure it out, trying to figure out our new balance. And it's always going to be changing. It's fluid, right? The energies are fluid. So probably now, Corey, you're going back to the cave at the moment. Christine. It's a very nice balance. I don't know. This one that I've brought in now has got a very nice balance of the masculine and the feminine. It's very giving, but he receives too. But it's very masculine. Even though he's got good feminine, he is very masculine. Very masculine. He's a world champion Muay Thai. Very masculine. Okay. Christine. Ooh, Christine. This moment, brilliant. You've got a really good balance at the moment. A really good balance. So maybe it's time to investigate how or what that is, what that balance is for you, and define it for you. You must feel that at the moment, Christine, that you've got a good balance between your feminine and your masculine, and it's working for you. So try and unravel that to understand it more. Because if you've got a good balance at the moment, that's why I was just mentioning my man. Because when you see it, you're like, wow, yeah, that person has got it. What is it that they've got? What is it? What is that balance that they've managed to find between the masculine and feminine? How are they making that work? I don't get it. I don't get it in my man yet. How it can be so masculine. Yet be, yeah, like feminine. If you see him with his kids, it's just so, and he's nurturing and everything. Although his kids do come to me for the nurturing. They start crying, they come to me. They don't go to him. Anyway, unravel that, Christine. Try and figure it out in a way. Because you've got a really good balance there. Lisa. In my awakening process, nearly all the guidance I received was directly from Source. They steered me away from most teachers. Yes, they wanted me to connect directly. Same with me. Yeah, it was exactly the same with me. It's like, no, don't read that book, don't listen to that teacher. We need to give you the guidance because we've all got our when we're channelers, we're all here to bring something through, not to copy other people. I got exactly the same thing too. And every time I got a reading off someone else or would read a book, if I tried to apply that stuff, every time it backfired on me. Every time I got a harsh lesson, I'm like, okay, I won't do it. I'll just channel my own stuff. Yeah, it's really important that. I agree, Lisa. Crystal Otter, let's see what you've got going on. Masculine and feminine. It's a fascinating subject for me, this. It's fascinated me for years. And I don't have a lot of clarity on it, like all of that came out. It doesn't give me a lot of clarity of what it's all about because we're all figuring it out, right? Crystal, be with nature and follow your knowing. So you've got this intuition going well, connection with nature, that natural balance. Yeah. the feminine, the positive feminine. You've got the positive feminine going on predominantly, is what I'm getting from this. But that comes naturally to you. Maybe that's what it is. That comes naturally to you. It's good. I mean, that could be the, I don't know. Are we all looking to have our masculine and feminine balance within us? Or is it all right for some to be really in the feminine? I feel like I've got a kind of nice balance at the moment in my masculine and feminine, but who knows? Could get more balanced. Anyway, you're in your positive feminine right now, Crystal. Robin. Right. Warmth, time alone, heart opening, you're in the cave, time alone to get back to yourself so you can open your heart. So this suggests to me that the masculine scares you. You have fear of the masculine, of receiving, and so you have to go back to your cave so that you can open your heart. Because when you're out there with the masculine, you close your heart down. This fear of the masculine. Wow, I used to have so much fear of the masculine. So much fear of the masculine. So much so I would pick the feminine guys. I don't have that fear anymore. Now I'm around very masculine guys. Every day. Beating me up. Me beating them up. Like, if someone had told me that, wow. If someone had told me that, I just wouldn't have believed them. I'd be like, no, you've got the wrong person. There's no way in hell I will be doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, but now I'm open, you know. You're in your cave at the moment to open your heart. So it's this, to the cave, and then back out there into the cave while we're figuring it out. Now we know that, now we've been told that this is our pattern, this is what we do. We're in the feminine, we run back to the cave when we get scared. Well, then we can just accept that. We need to do that as part of the process. Keeping ourselves safe. Yeah? Staying safe. The feminine staying safe. She runs back to the cave. But then she goes out there again for more growth, and then she runs back to the cave. It's all alright. Sherry, Al. Okay, I am that and love what is. It's not always a dysfunction. Sometimes it's who we are, right? As I said, is it okay for someone to be completely in the masculine, someone to be completely in the feminine? Well, obviously it is, because that's who we are, right? It's just that. Isn't this interesting? I was saying about my partner's kids. Girl who's 5 years old, she wants to be a boy. She's very much tomboy. I connect with her a lot. She connects with me a lot. The boy's 3 years old and he wants to be a girl. It's one of the first things that he told me about them. But the wrong way around, both of them. And so even the kids are at it. Playing with this masculine and feminine, you know. And so who are we? Some of it is integral to who we are, and some of it is a dysfunction. It's the same with anything in healing. Sometimes it's a personality trait, sometimes it's a dysfunction. And sometimes it's really tricky to decide which is which. Sometimes it's only when we heal ourselves that we realise something wasn't a part of our personality, or something is a part of our personality, right? Like the Muay Thai stuff and the aggression and stuff. It's part of my playfulness now. It was always a part of me. But I rejected it because I was in fear of the masculine. So there's something, Sherry, there's something that you are. There's a personality trait to do with the masculine. It feels like the masculine to me, that you are, and you need to love it more. You've been rejecting it. You need to love it more. So that will be what's coming out at the moment in your life. You're rejecting part of the masculine, but it is actually a part of you, an integral part of you. Donna. So you've got the feminine, I am heard part of it. And then you've got the masculine, be supportive part of it. So you're in this yang energy of giving, of supporting. You're being heard, you're asking for something else. You're asking to be supported, but then you won't get out of the masculine, being the supportive one. This reminds me of when was that? 10 years ago maybe? 9 years ago? When my eldest son came back to live with me in Australia, and I was living with my partner Jared at the time, and I was doing everything. I was just doing everything, earning all the money, looking after the house, just doing everything. Taking responsibility of everything and doing everything. And it would exhaust me. And I'd say to my friends, like, how do you get them to do anything? And they're just like, you just need to stop. You just need to stop. And I didn't get it. I'm like, well, if I stop, then we don't eat. The bills don't get paid. Like, I can't stop. Like, someone else has got to do it. But you see, then I realised it was only down the line once my eldest son moved out to a share house because he wanted to live with his friends instead of his weird mum. He's way too youthful for his liking. And I ended up breaking up with Jared when it just... and then I realised, I've just got to do it for myself, right? I've just got to support myself. So I stopped doing it for other people, stop inviting other people into my life to support, and then just support myself, just do all of those things for myself. And then you bring someone in that's supporting themselves in the same way, right? Someone that's doing it for themselves, and then you can do it for each other. But I've just been so out of balance for so long. So you're asking to be supported, but you won't stop being the supporter. So you need to stop being the supporter. So it's what my friends were saying, just stop it. And then you're like, well, I don't know how to stop it. But if I stop it, I'll die. That's how it feels. Eva. Eva. You don't need to open your heart before you're ready to open your heart, before you're empowered. That's how you're doing it. You've got codependent patterns going on, and it's kind of like codependent patterns. It's opening, I'm like, I want my heart to be open, and then someone criticizes you, the masculine criticizes you. Close down again. You're opening your heart prematurely before you're empowered with strong boundaries, and before you become that warrior, you need to become that warrior and then open your heart. Because you're wide open to the negative masculine there. Lisa. Ooh, Lisa, you got better feeling thoughts and decide. So it's very cerebral rather than heart for you. Yeah, it's cerebral. It's I feel like you've got a good balance. But isn't it weird? With people like us that do this kind of thing, it is a feminine thing. I don't know, I think I kind of do it in a masculine way, maybe. Running a business, we've got to do it in a masculine way, otherwise it doesn't work. But there's something about your thoughts, Lisa. And how you're negotiating it, how you're getting around things. As I said, pretty much in business we've got to be in our masculine. I do business in a very feminine way, really, going with the flow, going with my energies and stuff like that. I don't do business plans. I just respond to my guides. They've never led me astray. They give me an idea and I do it. I implement it and then it works. So I do it in a very, maybe it's a balanced way, you know. But I think your thoughts, I don't know, it's like your head is in the masculine, and so you're going along there in the feminine, or with a good balance of the masculine and the feminine. And then you're like, okay, I need to do something. I need to get in the masculine. My head needs to be in the masculine. I need to think about this in a masculine way, which won't feel good to you. That's what this is saying. When you get into that masculine thought pattern, it doesn't feel good to you. So that means it's not aligned with you. Maybe you need to get into more of the feminine in your head, your brain, especially around making decisions, if that makes any sense to you. As I said, we're all figuring this out. I mean, it's not going to be very clear because we don't have examples of this. There's no rule books, you know. Emma. Be firmer, doubt cancels abundance. Emma, this is about relationships and you doubting that they even exist. Do these people even exist? Yes, they do. There's people trying to figure it all out too. So say if you're interested in men and you're thinking, there's no men out there that have done the work, that have become the swans, you know, so I'm having to settle for the ugly ducklings each time and just make do. No, that's doubting abundance. If you exist, they exist too. Your counterpart exists. That came up really strongly for one of the signs in the energy updates this week. I don't remember which, but that they exist. And when you realise that they exist, it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense. It clicked in for me. It's like, oh, I exist. I am who I am, and if I've done it, my counterpart has done it too. It makes sense. The universe wouldn't, and it never puts us alone. But we can shut ourselves off with our beliefs doubting abundance. So be firmer in that. Your counterpart is out there. So I feel like your masculine-feminine balance, Emma, is going to be found in relationships, and it's the best teacher of it for sure. Relationships is the best teacher of it. I think that's the energies we're getting today as well, is our relationships showing us the balance that we've got within ourselves. It's going to manifest outside of us if we're not figuring it out inside of us. Chris, job direction. There you go. That's very masculine, isn't it, Chris? That's a masculine question. And here's your higher self trying to get you into the feminine. With accept the unexpected and be artistic. This be artistic is like get in your feminine. Get in your feminine with the work. Change your mind about it completely. You're trying to get a job. But what about being in the feminine? What about just doing something and it unfolding? It is a very masculine thing to think, I need a job. And I get it. Like, I get it. That's the way society has been, right? I haven't done it anymore. Because I can trust the universe and just do my own thing. And it not be like start a business in a very masculine way. I didn't do that. Of course, there was a couple of things that I needed to do, registering the business and stuff like that. But then I went into the feminine. So you're being invited into the feminine to actually live from that point of view. So keep on being guided, being shown. Don't seek that masculine thing. It's not going to work for you. Accept the unexpected. So there's stuff coming in for you. You're being shifted into the feminine all the time, Chris. Very interesting. Rose. Wow, it's been an hour already, but I'm going to keep on going because it's really interesting. To me, ooh, maybe I can write another book. I haven't written a book for ages. I'm like, what are you doing, guides? Why aren't you giving me a book? Maybe there'll be a book coming out of it. It's funny because yesterday I was doing all of those videos, and then in the evening, my man messaged me, and when I told him what I'd been doing, he said, don't forget to drink water. And I'm like, how do you know? How did you know that? I did forget to drink water, and then I was really thirsty in the evening and had to drink a lot of water. But there's that intuitive thing, that, I don't know, it just reminds me of writing a book, because that's what happens when I write a book. I wake up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning with writing a book in my head, and I'm like, I can't go back to sleep because I'm writing this book in my head. I've got to actually write it. And so I'll get up and I'll write it, and I won't stop all day until it's written. And so I'll still be in my PJs, and I won't drink or eat. And look, that's probably why I've not written a book for ages, because I've not had a partner who will feed me and make sure I go to the toilet and give me water, because they intuitively know that I'm in this trance flow of writing a book. So maybe the time's coming up where I'm going to be able to do that. Anyway, Rose. Oh yeah, be vulnerable, reach out. So, right. The reaching out is masculine, but you're vulnerable at the moment. Like you're feminine, you're wanting to go in the cave. You don't want to reach out. You're feeling the call to reach out. Reach out to others, open your heart, reach out to others. But that feminine fear is kicking in because you feel vulnerable. So you're feeling vulnerable to the masculine, Rose. That's what this is telling me. And the reaching out, I don't know, the reaching out, to me, that's what the feminine does. It's like the old dropping the handkerchief on the floors when the man that you want walks past you, so that they pick it up and give it back to you, so you strike up a conversation there. The woman is like the instigator, let's put it that way. The feminine is the instigator of things, but then the masculine steps up. We've got to open the door. The feminine part of us has got to be the one that reaches out first. It's not the giving, it's not the yang energy. I used to get that mixed up. I used to think the masculine should reach out first because that's the masculine thing to do, because that's yang, and it's not. The feminine reaches out first, then the masculine comes in with that yang energy. But that's making you feel vulnerable, maybe because you think you're getting your masculine when you reach out. But just think of it like a handkerchief, dropping your handkerchief on the floor, or just telling them, I like you. And then, if they like you back, then they come in. Yeah. Amy. Wow, you've got big change coming up, Amy, with all of this. You've got up until now and love what is. So it seems like you're starting a new chapter with your masculine and your feminine balance at the moment. You're going to have very different experiences that you've had before. So if you have always been with like a certain kind of negative masculine in people, and if you've had repeating patterns there, that's up until now, that's the past. Kind of love it and then move on from that. Want a different experience now, you can have a different experience. We don't need to repeat patterns. Right, let's see what all of your... Oh, I've lost my space. That was your personal card today, balance. Yeah, it's all about balance today. That's what the daily was about balancing the masculine and feminine, but balancing more than that as well. All about balance today. You're open to that, Christy. Robin, I think I did you. Did I? Yeah, I think I did. You're welcome, Crystal. The masculine in my life have been a total pain in the ass for the past couple of years, so I'm definitely in the cave. Yeah, there you go. I hope it's making more sense to you now then with this. I'm so glad that cave card came out. It's making more sense to me now. When the fear kicks in and we run away. Michelle, time for one more. Yes, I do. It's difficult as a mum. I know, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? Yes. It is. And that's what I'm finding now too, is now having kids in my life. I'm going to go into that mum mode that everyone started calling me Mama Claire now. Get into that role. I think, hang on, I've got to get my balance again. I've got to get back to myself again, back to my business and all of that. Not just get caught up in their lives and his life, right? As enticing as that is, I've got to strike that balance. That's been my battle this week. Michelle. Yeah, go for it. Gentle okayness you've got. Hopefully I'm back now. Am I back? Wi-Fi switched off. It's back. Can you all hear and see me again? Yeah, so I was saying, I was reading Donna's message. I started out in the craft show world and it turned me into owning the largest fandom jewelry company in the US, all with my creations. And what I was saying, I bet, Donna, you didn't ask for that. You didn't put it on your wish list or whatever, that you wanted that, but the universe matched you up with that. Because you're going with the flow, because you're doing it in the feminine way, you're using your intuition, so the universe knew that it could give you that, and that it matched up with your desires for abundance, your desires for freedom, your desires for fun. I didn't ask for this, it just flowed to me and through me, and I just followed that. So yeah, you're right, Donna. Chris, you need to get into that feminine flow. Amy, yes, I've been going through a change, out of balance and starting new. Yep, you lost me there, because Wi-Fi went. I don't know what's going on out there. Rain. The rain makes the trees droop with the weight of the water. The trees droop on the cables, and everything switches off. Really getting a lot from this topic. It's cool, isn't it? Stopping and starting. Okay, well, I got through everybody anyway. So thank you everyone for coming along. Let me know what you find out from about this subject as well. I really do feel like this is going to be my next book. So it'd be nice to have all of your input, because we're just figuring this out, right? Yeah, I think the Wi-Fi is dodgy right now. Anyway, been going for ages, an hour and 10 minutes. So that's enough of that. Thanks everyone for coming along. The energy updates will be out in about 12 hours, probably before that. The half price sale will be starting soon as well. And what else? I'm going for a massage today. Have a good day. Good night, everybody. Thanks for coming along, sharing your information about your masculine and feminine and your energies. And I will see you all next time, probably tomorrow, we'll see. Yeah, probably tomorrow.